All right, I think that's it. All right, thank you guys for attending the Teacher Empowerment and Leadership meeting. We're going to review just the different data that we have been talking about over the past 2 to 3 weeks, dealing with the survey that we took and then the observational walkthroughs that I completed 2 weeks ago. So let's get started. All right, our team norms. Everyone must participate, respect each other's voices, be on time and come prepared, and be solution oriented. Our agenda for today, review research-based practices, review the teacher empowerment survey results that I sent about the beginning of March, I believe. Review the 5 walkthrough observation results that I did, and then we're going to talk about what's next, which is the teacher empowerment growth plan that I created. All right, so for the research, just basic things that we already know that we've been talking about for the longest. Talked about professional developments and how they're described as an essential instrument that deepens teachers' content knowledge and cultivate their teachers' understanding. And then most importantly, and when you're trying to hire new teachers, creating an interview panel that can be used to interview possible new hires. All right, so this goes into our teacher empowerment survey results that I sent out. I sent this out at the beginning of March. It included 5 questions, and those questions took probably about 1 minute, if that. The first question dealt with, or it asked, teacher has input on professional development offerings at the school. Of the 30 people that completed theirs, I think it was 30, 87% said yes and 13% said no. For the second one, teacher plays a role in the development of the school improvement plan. 87% of course said yes for that one, and 13% said no for that survey question. For question number 3, teacher plays a role in setting school-wide policies. 67% said yes and 33% said no. For question 4, teacher has input in the development and or the management of the school budget. 63% said yes and 37% said no. And for question number 5, teacher plays a role in the hiring process of new teachers. 57% said yes and 43% said no. I know with this question, and I do believe I've been on maybe 1 or 2 since I've been here. They set up like interview panels. We haven't done that in years. I'm not sure why. But that's just one of the issues that I brought up with that question as far as setting up an interview panel to interview new teachers coming in. All right, so I did walk through observations. I went to a 5th grade reading classroom. I went to a 3rd grade math at the time, 2nd grade reading/math, 2nd grade math, and I did a walkthrough observation for 1st grade. First grade math. And these are just some of the keynotes that I took apart when I did it. Of those 5 teachers, all of them used technology. They were using the ClearTouch panel. Some of them were doing a writing assignment for 5th grade. Some of them were also doing different math books. Some of them were taking math assessments, and then some of them were also taking reading assessments. 20% of the teachers implemented APPTEL strategies during that time. 100% of the teachers implemented PD strategies that we learned in the classroom. 100% of the teachers have rules and procedures posted in the classroom. 80% of the students followed rules and procedures in the classroom. And 1 teacher, of course, had a difficult time with rules and procedures being followed. As far as, even though they were set up, the kids had a difficult time actually following those particular rules and procedures. All right, so what I did was I took all of the information from the survey and the walkthrough observations, and we created, of course, with your input, we created a leadership growth plan, and then that is what I am going to talk about next. So the first goal that we came up with was to create a school interview panel. This is kind of, I think it's easy. You can just take people from each grade level to kind of have on an interview panel. In order to interview new hires, of course, the persons responsible will be the principal and the APs. Hopefully this is something that we can start this year with our principal being out. I'm not sure how it's going to work if we have a huge turnover rate and how they're going to go about finding new teachers, but hopefully they can set up some sort of interview panel so they can have input from teachers as to who we think would be a best fit to fit in at our school. And an indicator of success, there would be a 30% percentage growth of the end of the year survey to given teachers by either the Department of Ed or the Richland 2 survey that they give us at the end of the school year. The second goal is teachers provide input on school-wide policies. With this one, I thought about either school-wide procedures that we do at the school, and then also any other like school-wide policies that everyone has to follow. So whether or not it's coming in the cafeteria, whether or not it's hallway procedures school-wide. I know in previous years we've had some, but I don't know if we actually stick to them since we've had 3 principals or 2 principals in the past however many years. So I know some of them actually change, but just coming up with school-wide procedures that everyone can follow from kindergarten or pre-K all the way to 5th grade. That timeline will be from June or start or end hopefully by June 2024, so we can have it in place for the 2024-2025 school year. Teachers and administration team will be responsible for it. And then in order to check to see if it's actually been implemented, we want to have at least a 15% percentage growth in teacher input on school-wide policies as being determined by our teacher empowerment survey that will be re-administered again. Our next one is the implementation of survey needs for professional development growth. This is something that the TLC will do, and also myself as being the candidate for this degree program. It will be done in June of 2024, and then we want to have, of course, everyone 100% completion in order to determine some different professional development needs that need to be addressed either for the end of this school year and carrying on into next school year. All right, the next one is the effective implementation of those PD strategies. So after we have actually completed those professional developments, making sure that we actually implemented those professional developments in the classroom. So by the end of next school year, which is 2024-2025, we want to have a goal of 75% teachers at Sandlapper, will effectively implement PDs in the classroom. And then hopefully we will, at the end of the school year, we will have at least 100% implementation of the different strategies that we've learned at the professional developments, whether or not it was here, PDs held here, or PDs through given to us through the district. All right, now this one might be a little bit tricky. It deals with actually peer observing other teachers in the classroom, because it kind of helps, we got to work with the schedule that we have and making sure that there's enough coverage. But hopefully by the end of the school year and next school year, at least we will be able to peer observe someone in the building of your liking or that you would like to observe at least once. So for that goal, I have at least 50% of teachers will be able to peer observe other teachers' classrooms. And then in order to make sure that that is occurring, we're going to create a Google form in order to make sure that everything is being completed, and then you can just write down some things that you took from the actual teacher observation. Let's see. All right, now, I spelled that wrong. I need to go back and fix that. The last, or the next to last goal is the development of the school budget and or the Title I budget. I know Ms. Dinkins normally comes around, especially with our Title I budget, and she lets us know, or she asks us what programs or anything that we would like to add to it, but actually creating a committee that will serve on or create the Title I budget or the school budget for the 2024-2025 school year. I'm sure that budget is already done for this year, or actually in the process of getting it done because they have to turn it in by a certain time. So hopefully by the next school year, we can create a team or a committee to work on the school budget and the Title I budget for our school. And then that is it, really. Anybody got any questions? I think I went by too fast. No. Any questions? All right.
Great.
All righty.